What is your conception of a strong woman?
Well, I suppose someone who is direct and unafraid and full of confidence in herself as a woman and as a human being, and someone who's, I mean, that's what I would hope for my own daughters, is to give them the self-confidence to be unafraid to walk into any situation in their lives.
Are you like that?
No, I was thinking about that today. No, I'm much more conflicted than that.
Oh.
But I try. I do try. I continue to.
To be strong.
Yes, to be unafraid. To be willing.
You are known for your wonderful versatility, many faces, many souls. How do you explore all these women in you?
Well, I've always felt like I had a lot of different people.
Inside?
Yeah. And I always like women. I'm interested in other women. I'm interested in their stories. I'm very sympathetic. And I think that goes back to college, when I first went to a university that was for women only, and I made my first fast friendships, you know, and the strong ones. And I think that I feel the same empathy with a character and that's how I pick my scripts. I read them, and if I hear that woman's story in my heart, then I want to do it.
You have the feeling inside.
Yeah.
It's just to pick it up. In that beautiful classic, Sunset Boulevard, Gloria Swanson said that the movies are getting too small for her. Have you ever felt the same thing?
No, I think the movies are getting too fast for me. Not that they talk too fast, because they don't talk enough.
Or what? Too much action.
Yeah, too much. I always find that they cut away before. I want to find out what the breath looks like that the person takes after they say that thing. You know?
Yeah.
I always feel ripped away. I'm very happy, and I've just seen Billy August's Best Intentions, so I'm happy in movies that are 3 hours long. I'm going to be the happiest person in the audience in Spike Lee's movie, because, you know, I like 3-hour movies.
I understand. And you spoke out about the lack of roles for women over 40. How's this touched you?
Well, it certainly has affected the range of stories that are available. Most interesting parts for women are about women who are unattached and have no children, or maybe, but that are 25 to 35 years old. This seems to be the time that women are interesting to women and men in the movies. And I don't know why that is, but I think there are millions of other stories to be told and that I'm interested in seeing, so I'd hope everybody else would be. And if that's true, maybe I'll work till I'm 70.
Yes, so you decided to write to get your own part, right? Last year you co-wrote a screenplay with your friend Carrie Fisher.
Almost destroyed the friendship.
Why?
Well, I don't think she would do that. I think she would do that. Well, I don't think she would,
yes,
you know.
Yeah. But how was the system of working? Did you work together or in the same space? I mean, discussing everything.
We wrote it in 3 weeks. And I was due to deliver my 4th child in 3 weeks. So we wrote it during the end of the pregnancy. I had an idea. And I wanted to take my mind off the fact that I was going to be the mother of 4, and I couldn't believe it. And so It did take my mind off of it, and we had a wonderful time. It was really effortless to write it.
And
Then I had the baby. Then we started on the rewrites, and it
I
was,
see.
like a nightmare. But it was fun. It was actually fun to be finally in control of what you say.
and does writing come easily, naturally to you?
No.
No, it's
Well,
not.
it did. It did when I was pregnant. I guess maybe that was the secret. No, it doesn't. It isn't. It was easy in the beginning. It's always hard when you have to make the second step, which is refining it and making it good. I never wanted to be pigeonholed in my career and feel that I couldn't do anything, any kind of drama or comedy. So I've moved around a little bit. The next thing I'm going to do is a serious film. So
About?
it's a book of Isabel Allende, the
yes.
House of Spirits.
Yeah.
Yes, House of the
Wonderful book.
Mm.
It's a beautiful book, beautiful story. And you said, I read, I'm sick of being Meryl Streep. Everyone considers me so serious, so dramatic. Do you want to change your image?
No. But I think I should never give interviews because you always have to eat what you say for a meal for years afterwards. So on that day, I was sick of being Meryl Streep. Today, I'm perfectly happy to be her. But don't you have days like that?
Yeah, sure, of course, a lot. And I think instead of being sick of doing interviews, you help a lot of people because we feel the same. So we say, oh, if she's so wonderful, and sometimes she can be sick.
Yes, I think when I said that I felt, that's right. Yeah. I think that when I said that I felt like, I just feel so defined by an image that has
A label, maybe.
yes, or something.
I know.
And I just felt that my own possibilities were so much more limitless than were.
I'm bigger than this.
Yes. I'm definitely more interesting. Please.
You have always chosen roles in artistic movies, but are you also concerned about the commercial success?
Yes, but I've never produced anything before, so I felt like I did my work on the day that I worked, and that I would be paid for the work I did on the day. And then I really I wouldn't ever do anything without giving everything to it. So whether it failed or succeeded, my belief was in the material and in what I poured into the material.
The best you could.
Yeah, so if they don't like it, they don't like it, but I couldn't change what I did.
Well,
Do you know
I
what I mean?
truly believe that they love it, but there is that feeling that the American audience just wants to be entertained. Maybe this is the conflict. Do you agree with this?
Yes, I think that's true. Especially now, I think people are. It's a bad time economically, and people are fearful, and they want an escape. They don't want anything that challenges them intellectually or emotionally too much.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but I don't. But every time I say something like that, I sort of simply don't believe it. I don't really go to parties, no, because I have so many children and I have a career, and when I'm working, I'm away from them a great part of the day. I mean, there's just so much that the director will accept in terms of visits.
Yeah.
So they come, but not too much.
Yeah,
and,
I understand.
When I'm not working, I'm with them. I don't go out and about and
Mary,
network.
this morning before coming here, I had to prepare this interview, write down the questions, and I had to go to a meeting to my son's school because all the parents, and it was a messy day for me. And oh my God, I asked myself, how do you handle everything? Because you have 4 children, a big career. Please,
Yes,
tell me.
I know. It's very difficult, and I think I can never speak about how to do this or get on a podium and say, this is how I do it, because I'm so fortunate. You know, I can work for 4 months at my position and my status in this business. I can work for 4 months, and then I can take off for 6 months and be with my children more than most women who have another kind of job. You know, this business is very good for me in that way, and very forgiving of a lot of things. My children visit me when I'm working, and so I don't know how I don't know how other people do it. I don't know how people who work in a 9-to-5 job and get 2 weeks off a year. I don't understand how they do it. I mean, you have to really have a great faith in the person who is your babysitter, and you have to have like somebody else in your life. I mean, a husband or somebody who helps too.
Have you arrived at a point in your career where you really can do what you want?
Well, I don't know. No, because your options keep slipping away. You know, because of exigencies of like my family. Like, I can't take a film that was offered to me recently in Siberia. And at another time in my life I would have done it, but I can't. So it never gets simple. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The choices are always changing. It's very, very fluid.
How do you feel about criticism?
I don't like it. No, criticism is helpful when it's helpful and from a place that means to be. Criticism is deadening when it isn't from that.
But how do you react?
Constructive.
You know, when you see the negative reviews.
I get very hurt. You know,
I hate them.
I'm shocked. Yes.
I just
And I
hate
think
them.
up again. I lie in my bed at night. I think I go over to their house. You know, think of what could I do?
I'm going to kill him.
That's true. That's what I do.
And you have a long, successful marriage. What do you think makes a relationship last?
Oh, goodwill. A lot of goodwill, I think.
What are the most important qualities in a man?
I don't know. I really don't know. The man that I love is so completely a part of my body. It's like saying, what do you like about yourself? Or you know.
And what do you like about yourself?
He's related. He's home. He's me. He's everything. Well, I mean, what do I like about a man? I like someone who has good character and generosity, and is willing to give me some rope, you know, to hang myself.
To hang yourself.
Yes.
In the right moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And who's forgiving about my insanity, and who has an aesthetic of his own that is impressive and interesting, always interesting. And
Is
I
the
don't know.
curiosity what moves you?
Yeah, and I love his forearms, you know. But I can't really go into everything. I mean, just the shape of his forearms, so beautiful.
So is that attracts you to men?
That's not all of it, but
part.
yes. As time goes on, I feel more and more sort of run over by my emotions. You know, as time and experience and things happen, life becomes richer and sadder and more unbelievably full. You know, you have more emotion. I think the coldest people are people who are young sometimes. I mean, I look at myself when I was very young, and I was more arrogant than I am now, even.
Now I'm mean.
Yeah.
So you don't have fear of losing control?
A fear of losing control? No. I mean, if I didn't have my acting, I think that if I weren't able to act, I would have fear. Yeah. Because I wouldn't have a place to put all this stuff that I don't choose to put on my husband or my children unhealthily.
Are you telling me, Meryl, that you are that kind of person who takes risks and flies without a net?
A net who? Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
Are you trying to tell me that?
Well, I try to do that in my work. You know, that's the best, is if you feel like you're falling, and it's the easiest and the most frightening. But in my life, I don't conduct myself that way in my real life.
Not yet.
Wait till I get them out of the house. Yes, that's right. When I
Oh my God. This is a personal question. I really have to know it because this morning I spent all the morning thinking about it. Are you the kind of person who always blames herself? I mean, do you usually blame yourself when something goes wrong?
Not at first. I do look around for who in the room its fault could possibly be. You know, but
Who are the
generally
guilty?
I come to the right conclusion that yes.
Oh.
No, if something is my fault, you know, I generally come to that understanding. But you know, it's usually not.
No.
So.
Oh, bless you. What are you afraid of? What are your fears?
Oh, they're so huge that I can't even speak them, because if they speak out, it's like a Jewish thing, kinahora. It shouldn't happen. If you say that, if I say that, you think I'm going to say that? No, forget it.
It's going to happen
It'll
right now. The
happen.
ceiling is
That's
going
right.
to fall.
No.
This death becomes her. You're talking about age. What are your thoughts about aging?
Well, you know, I don't like aging. I don't like really not being able to run around as fast as I used to be able to. I used to be able to beat my son in the 100-yard dash, you know, and now I can't. But
You think you are
but I'm not
ageless?
afraid. Well, I don't know. No, we're all mortal. But I feel like my greatest models in my life were really my mother and my grandmother and my old maiden aunt Jane. And to me, those people, I always felt like I could communicate with them on a level that was the same as me. I mean, we felt like peers. I always felt 40, even when I was a teenager. I was never an ingenue. I just never had that moment of not being naive and not knowing what the world was about. You know, I just never had that.
So
I
you
felt
can
like I
have now.
always knew. I always knew the score. And I was not confused about what the world was about. I'm probably more confused now, but than I was then. But I felt on my 40th birthday that I finally fit into my skin, that I was the person that I always thought I was when I was 8 or 12 or 20.
Now you allow yourself.
Now I am. It's it's the truth.
How vain are you?
I'm not very vain.
Have you ever had plastic surgery?
No.
Would you do it? Yes. Let's cry, yes.
No, you know, I would have if I hadn't seen this BBC documentary. They ruin everything, don't they, the BBC? They ruin everything because they take you behind the scenes of everything else. So I saw this operation, a very simple eye lift, and it was in Beverly Hills, and it was totally frightening. On the other hand, maybe if I'd seen my own cesarean section, I would never have children. So.
Do you ever feel insecure?
Yes. I do. I always hate going on, for instance, I shouldn't say this. Why am I telling you this? Who are you? I always, every year they ask me to go on the Academy Awards and give one. And just to walk out on the stage in the dress and say a couple of stupid things and walk off. I cannot do this. I'm so, and I've gotten close to doing it, and I'm like this. And that thing that in high school and your lip is going like this when you're talking, it's just
the muscles.
And
you can't control
actress,
the muscles.
and I'm the,
I can't
I'm
control my
Meryl
muscles.
Streep. I can't control my muscles. My bowels probably I wouldn't be able to. So I don't do that. I get very insecure in that situation.
Can you think, oh, this is so silly?
I don't know why. I think it's because it is something that goes back to when I watched that on TV. That seemed like that.
Yes.
Wow, that.
And what about receive the Oscar?
That was thrilling. It was really thrilling and
Normal.
very exciting.
For you, normal.
Oh, that was very exciting. But I was not. But I can't say that every time that I've been nominated, I didn't sit in the seat going, please, no, no, please, no, no, not me.
Oh, my
So I don't
God.
have to give the speech and get up there.
Oh.
This is the way I am. I know that now.
You talked about conflict inside. What kind of conflict? What is your personal struggle?
Well, I have a struggle with being a public person and trying to have a responsibility to all the things that need fixing in the society, and to being at home and just having maybe 20 minutes to just sit with the baby and play, uninterrupted by any of those other concerns. And when I go to bed at night, I feel guilty for the time I spent with the baby, and I didn't return the phone call from the World Wildlife Fund, or, can you do the thing in Somalia, or can you save? And I feel very conflicted about that. I really do. The one time that I went out and really let the concerns of the world take over me in my life and my time,
I understand.
it took a lot away from
And
home.
what do you do when you feel depressed?
I go to the movies.
I do the same.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the best thing to do.
It's great. That's why I feel like I'll always be employed, because you have to have movies. People can't live without movies.
And you said also that it's fun in your profession, loving all these handsome and fascinating men. Oh, please tell me about it. I need details.
The details. Well, there aren't that many details, but I mean, you get to live out the fantasy that, people have when they're watching the movie. It's wonderful.
Who is your favorite?
Who's my favorite? Well, I love Jack
Nicholson?
Yeah, working with him. I really did. And I loved, well, I don't want to say, because then I'll get in trouble with the other ones, make everybody think.
Okay. They will
But,
not see
you
our
know,
interview.
That's true.
Don't worry.
I can say anything.
This is from Brazil.
All right, I really love working with Robert Redford. I really love working with Robert Redford. I loved working with Bruce Willis on this. I mean,
Really?
he came to the project, I didn't know him at all. And he had this dreadful reputation
Of being?
of being very difficult
Mm.
and sort of a diva.
Ah.
And he wasn't that at all. Not at all. He was darling.
Yeah.
And he really came so willing and ready to work and very interested in Goldie and me and what we were doing. And he was so
Mary-
giving. Oh my God. I mean, it was a shock. It was a shock.
Do
We kept waiting, well, when's the other shoe going to drop,
Yeah.
By the third week, we realized, no, this is, he's nice.
Mario, did they fall in love with you?
I think so.
I am sure. Now that I know
You
you,
can see why.
I bet.
No, I don't know.
I can see why, I tell you.
I don't know. I think you have to pretend that you do a little bit, to make it work. And nobody ever calls anybody after the shoot's over, so that's a great indication of just how wonderful it was. No, I'm just thinking because Bruce called me the other day and I didn't return the call. Well, but
Do you think?
I don't return my mother's calls,
Are you busy?
I'm very bad. I hate the telephone. I don't like to talk on the telephone. I'm very much a small town girl. I'm much happier if I can run into the happiest. I like New York because you can bump into people, and then after you have the encounter, it's on the street, it's cold. You go home and you think,
Yeah.
God, thank God, I don't have to call.
And you can go to the market and have a
Yes.
normal life. Here,
Yes.
can you have a normal life? I mean, go to the market and then to stores. I guess no, you don't.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You do?
Hmm. I go to the stores, but
But let's talk about men
oh, okay.
better than
Yeah.
stores.
Yeah.
Who cares about
Yeah.
stores?
Well, I don't know. No, let's look at that. We're not sure.
Yeah, life is too short. Let's,
Let's shop.
Mary, you were such a bright woman, and with lots of sense of humor and dramatic and deep. And you are so complete. Do you think that you intimidate men?
Well, I don't know, but somebody showed me an article. I always have these friends who forward me. Now I have a fax machine. They fax me articles about me in other things because I don't have a press agent or what do you call it?
the clipping.
Publicist.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the stuff that's written about me, mercifully, I don't know about. But then I'll have a friend who sends me a thing. Lately, somebody sent me the fax that said, women like Meryl Streep more than men do in the movies. And so I went to bed for 3 days and cried. But I don't know, why that is.
You have all the sides. You've created wonderful characters. You are beautiful, rich, famous, happy, married, 4 children. Do you believe that you've reached all of your dreams?
No.
You are just at the beginning, right?
No, I'm about middle.
By the way, what do you like to do with your money?
You know what the hardest thing for me to believe is that I actually have it.
Oh, yes,
It's
I
not piled
understand.
up
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah.
And it's so hard to believe. And to not feel like I really have to look under the can of tuna fish, which one is cheaper,
cheaper,
in
yeah.
the store. And I'll take the cheaper one, I have to always think, no, you can go out and
You can
do
buy,
this.
but you still buy the cheaper? No.
And for me, for being, I always feel how fortunate I am. But I don't think my children realize it. I don't think they... I was the child of Depression era parents who probably drummed into me more than they needed to, the necessity of my being able to make a living by myself. And I always felt that. I never felt that I had to get married and rely on someone else economically. I always felt like I wanted to be independent because I'm the child of my parents' fears about the Depression, what that was like. My kids, you know, they live here and they
just don't
they
care.
think it grows on trees.
I know.
Well, why can't I have a Laserdisc player? You know.
Yeah.
God. So how do you counter that? I don't know.
You said that you were a very lucky woman, and I think you are. You are very gifted. And I think we are lucky too, because we had this wonderful conversation.
I really enjoyed it, I have to say. I wasn't looking forward to it, but now I have to say I really enjoyed it.
Oh, let's go on. Let's do part 2. Mario, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know, thank you very,
Thank
very
you.
much. You were
I really
really
appreciate it.
wonderful.
Thank you.